right, up next, we have social media's highly anticipated weekly nighttime show, Diversity, with Miss Obeary Marie. Get ready to laugh, get ready to cry, get ready to have those hard conversations with Miss Aubrey tonight, streaming live on all social media platforms. Let's go.
I can see it, I can feel it, time has come now to reveal it. I've been waiting for a long time, gotta do it, and won't let nothing hold me down, gotta do it, because I may not get another chance, I believe it, if I want it, I can have it.
Greetings, and welcome to another amazing episode of Diversity. We are so glad to be back. I had to take me a little break, y'all, because I wanted to make sure that I came fully prepared. Okay, for this wonderful show on today. Today's show is very important because we are going to be supporting all of my women, especially my Melanite women. We're going to be talking about postpartum, guys. If you guys were on the last show, we had a young lady that came up during Ask Obeary Marie, and she was dealing with that. And Quatita was able to come in. Shout out to the governess, okay, for being able to sense that and read that on her. And we kind of just had a brief conversation. And I said to myself, I said that I would want to be able to create this so that we can be able to talk about it. And on today, y'all, we got a guest. Many of you know who
Hi guys.
this fine girl is, honey.
My light died as soon as the show started.
You said what?
My light died as soon as the show started.
No, but we're gonna put it back in. We're gonna put it back in. Listen, we have Toddy in the motherfucking house on today. Toddy, introduce yourself so the people can know who you is.
Hi guys. It's me, Toddy, 26-year-old new mom. I'm here today to talk about my postpartum journey. And just how it's been. It's been 3 months now and I'm in it.
Listen, we are glad to have you here. We are glad to have you here on Diversity on tonight. Tonight's show is going to be pretty much of an open floor. This is going to be part 1, guys. So we're going to have the conversation. We're going to call this postpartum sister circle, where we're just actually talking about things and what we can be able to do. Some of the things that a lot of you guys are experiencing. Any woman that has had postpartum or is dealing with postpartum currently, we're going to have you come up and we're going to talk about it. We're going to have this discussion. This is a safe space for you to be able to necessarily express yourself. This is a no judgment zone for anybody. We know the rules of diversity. This is about healing and being able to kind of understand that this is a safe space. So absolutely, we will have that link dropped in just a moment. I want to take the time out to show gratitude to A Walk with the Ancestors Productions for always making sure that this show is doing the damn thing behind the scenes. So production, we appreciate you 100%. And I guess we could just go ahead and get started. So we have Toddy here because many of you know she is a new mom to the beautiful and gorgeous Bean Bean, honey. You
Bean
already
Bean.
know. Girl,
Yes.
so listen, I know that it's 29 to 44% of Black women that experience postpartum depression. Kind of let us know, like, what has your experience been in this particular situation, Toddy?
So I would say thus far my experience has really been eye-opening. Of course, it's been hard. It's been great, wonderful. I mean, I show so much gratitude. Because, it's just a different type of. It's hard to put into words
Yeah.
and explain, but it's just
Mhm.
like it's like such a roller coaster ride already.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Okay. I wanted to kind of give 10 common things. And out of this list, like you can just tell me like what are some of the things that you may experience. And then in that you can kind of show your examples like, yes, I felt that way, right? So I was
okay.
just doing some research on it, like 10 common things of postpartum depression would be loss of interest, guilt,
Hmm.
crying, fatigue, irritability, withdrawing from relationships, hopelessness, poor concentration, trouble sleeping, excessive anxiety about baby. Like in
Hmm.
this list, how many of these things did you experience?
I would probably say everything, but maybe two.
Okay.
Um, yeah, like it is a complete mental, and I don't even want to say attack, but it's just like I don't think people understand or grasp the the trauma that kind of comes with having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because already I'm fearful that I'll never, you know what I'm saying, be on that other side. And I'm
Yes.
sure a lot of women feel that way. Like, oh my gosh, am I ever going to get to the other side of this?
Mm-hmm.
But so, and that could be traumatic, you know what I mean? And
Right.
then just dealing with the anxiety that comes with being a mom. You cannot
Mm-hmm.
escape it. I don't think anybody is, um, you know, I can't even think of the word.
I get
Exempt.
it.
You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? So the yeah, I've experienced a lot of those things on the list.
Okay, like which one out of like on the list that you know that you experience at least one time of day? Like out of the day, like just a day with Toddy, like what is one thing that you're like, I know that before this day ends, I'm gonna do one of these things on this list. Because let's be real, this is real life. You understand what I'm saying? And I don't
Yeah,
want you
and
to feel like you know.
I definitely would say I'm for sure anxiety. You know, that's like a big red alert going off at all times.
Hmm.
Um, but anxiety, I'm in my head a lot too. So it's just like, and then I don't like talk about it a lot. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't talk about it a lot, but um, it's just a lot. Um, that I feel like I'm probably holding in myself.
Yeah.
Um, so I would say that fatigue. I just never really feel like doing anything.
Hmm.
Um, which sucks because it's just like I would much rather choose to, be up and energetic and feel like I can move around, but that's just not the space that I'm in. And that's hard to deal with.
Well, let me
Um,
break it down like this, Toddy. Do you feel like you like immediately went into a job where you're working 80 hours a day? It feels like you're working 80 hours a day on the hour through the hour without any breaks. No chaser, no nothing like kind of you can even break it down into that like situation. You know what I'm saying? So that people can kind of like understand.
I definitely, I would say yes. You hit the ground running. Like you hit the ground running, and it's like it's so crazy because the first night I was so tired, but I just didn't want to like miss a beat. You know what I mean? So it's just like
Mhm.
you just do it. Um, so I definitely feel like it just was a job right out the gate.
Yeah.
Um, but it's just like you love it so much. and
Yeah.
you might get, irritated or frustrated, but it's just for a moment. It's not, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now when I was doing the research, I saw that they were saying that a lot of this happens in first time moms immediately, right? And so because within this, let me say this, I admire your strength because I was telling
Thanks.
the team that I'm learning just as well as everybody else that's dealing with this because postpartum depression is something that a lot of people really they don't really have the conversation about.
Yeah.
Like you really and truly are just like, girl, she got it. Like,
Yeah.
because she's a mom, she's gonna make. But what about her though?
Yeah.
When is the mom going to be able to recover from a 24, maybe 48, maybe 72-hour labor and delivery, and then having to either breastfeed or the baby wants to be close to the mom? Like how is she going to be able to kind of reconnect back to what was before, now with a little human being that's
Yeah.
relying on her energy
Hmm.
24/7 to be able to be comfortable? And like just admiring your strength through that. But I want to also ask, like, what advice do you have for any new moms that are really coming into, and you can have advice because it's like, listen, girl, you can expect X, Y, and Z. Like, what advice
Yeah.
do you have to give them? You know what I'm saying? So they know that.
It's so it's a lot of advice I could say. Um, let me tell my baby daddy to get my baby real quick because she crying.
Okay. Okay.
Hold on, y'all, just a
See,
second.
it's happening right now. Anybody that wants to come up while we're having this conversation, hey boo, hey Stink, you
I'm gonna
definitely
I'm gonna bring a different perspective, and let me tell you why.
okay.
Because I know that postpartum is real, but
Mm-hmm.
I was 16 when I got pregnant, 17 when I had that one right there. That's her.
Yes.
That's mine right there. Y'all, I was fast, so I don't know that. I was smoking and drinking, and I probably had it, but I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know it because I was too young to know,
Yeah.
and I was always high.
Mm.
So, and I didn't know, like, the baby. I throw that baby in the goddamn stroller, honey, and we be hitting the block. You know what I mean? So I didn't have a baby daddy. I didn't have any of that. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that it was possible that I was in a postpartum state. I just didn't want to be. You know what I'm saying? Because even
Hmm.
I believe I had prepartum because
Mm.
I didn't want to do shit when I was pregnant. I lost friends. I didn't want to comb my hair. I was just like in a real fucked up
It
place.
gets really bad.
It really is. And I had no idea. So I was high all the time and drinking, and I didn't know I had
Yeah.
postpartum because I was too young. And some people may be too young to know that that's what's
Right.
going
Yeah.
on.
Hmm.
That
Yep.
makes sense because I was talking to my sister, Abria, before this, and she was telling me, she was like, um, that is something that's serious. And what's crazy is she was like, I didn't really experience it when I first had Chesney, but when I am overstimulated, as like with her getting into her twos, like her terrible twos and things like that, she was like, girl, I am going through it. So it's
Hmm.
just like, I'm so amazed that it's so many different levels of it because it's like you said,
Yeah.
Quatita, I necessarily did not even know that I was going through this shit. But now that I look at it, I had a whole bunch of stuff going on. What you
Hmm.
gonna say, Toddy?
Um, what was I gonna say? I think I was just agreeing though in that
Yeah,
moment.
yeah.
With that.
Um,
But as far as the advice, um, there's a number of things that I could say.
mhm,
Um, and I think a couple of the important ones are like, because it's such a, I guess, mind fuck of it all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
and just all the emotions that you're kind of going through, to remember to kind of just know that you are doing the best that you can, and know, like, no matter what um people might say, or you know what I'm saying, or just kind of stay tapped in and locked in with yourself so that you don't spiral from certain expectations, or things like that, because I feel like that plays a huge part
Mm-hmm.
in having grace for yourself and letting yourself take the time that you need, to really get yourself together, or stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely say that would be a piece of advice. I think I would also say, you are going to probably, I don't know, I won't use the right word. I guess bang your baby up. Okay, you are going to, because you just gotta know that you gonna think you hurting the baby a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, because I
I think
didn't.
that I think another thing that people don't realize is that it can last a long time, and I feel like men have a misconception of, well, you should be over that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
No, the baby, like she
Mm-hmm.
said, she could be 2 years old, and you're
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
still dealing with that because it
Yeah.
was never dealt with. So I
Right.
feel like a lot of people have a misconception of how long postpartum lasts. And then
Yep.
Lisa said, "Come back, Chanel, because I'm about to bring you up." Like Lisa said, also people don't realize that you can have a miscarriage and
Oh
also
yes.
or stillbirth and go into postpartum as well.
Mhm.
I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
step down though.
Yes. Gratitude for
Okay.
coming up. Absolutely. And I
Yeah,
think
and
that
just
that's big.
okay. Yeah, my bad.
No, 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 girl. No, no, go ahead. No, sis. Go what you say.
I was about to say, just to piggyback off of what Mama was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Postpartum can last a long time, and I feel like that's why it's just so important to, you know, if you feel like you need help, or because some people might not know that they're going to postpartum, so it's good for you when you have your appointments to speak up, or let them know how you're feeling, so that you can get some feedback and kind of know where you are, mentally, within your journey of postpartum. Because if you don't know, you don't also want to hold those things in, so that you can get the help that you need as well, because it can last a long time. And maybe if you don't know that you're even going through postpartum, it can last even longer. So just always speak up for yourself if you're
Absolutely.
going through something, and don't feel weird about it, because
Yeah.
everybody is handling things differently, and it's tough.
It's like you're already being strong for the baby. So you have to have basically you have to have that foundation so that you can be able to cry on that shoulder when it's time to release. So it's
Yeah.
like everybody has to work in that team in order to kind of keep you kind of okay for the baby, because there is
Yeah.
going to be a time where you're going to be like, okay, I'm not strong enough for this right now, like
Hmm.
this is too much, like, and it could just be random. You could be in the middle of fixing a bottle, you can be in the middle of changing a diaper, you could be in the middle of trying to eat, you know what I'm saying, like it
Yeah.
just happens and you just don't really know. So I totally get that. Gratitude so much for that advice. Chanel, welcome in. How are you, honey?
Obeary. Oh, tidy of mommy.
Yes. Is
Oh,
it
totally.
she?
Oh, tidy. You such a
Hi.
sweet. That's my birthday twin, y'all. If y'all didn't know, that's my little 429, my little birthday twin. But
Okay. Period.
because we the best. Boop boop.
Period. Period.
But
Okay.
I'm
Period. Period.
so proud of you, Toddy, because
Oh, thanks.
baby is just too cute, honey. I just want to say that. And I
Thank
know,
you.
cause like, when I see you, I be like, oh my God, I be telling my daughter, like, listen, because governor's daughter reminds me of you, because y'all be like, who take these pictures, baby? We about to kick it. it was the call like, "Ma, I'm pregnant." It's like, okay, you got a choice, have, not have. Like it's up to you. Like it's not
Yeah.
the end of the world. So when she gave birth, it was like she was so used to being on the go, 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 go. I could just go out when I want to. I really can't now because I have a baby. And it just
Yeah.
got to her one day, like she just called me just crying, like, "Ma, I don't know what to do." I'm like, okay, you got postpartum. It's okay. It's a big change because you're not getting to sleep when you want to sleep. The baby waking you up out to sleep. So I was like, just breathe, calm down. So, I had to go over there. This girl, go out for your birthday, child. Look, here goes some money. Just go and kick it. And she was like, "Ma, thank you." And I feel like if you have that support system means so much. And it's like, for
It really
those who
does.
don't have the support system, it's like, I feel like our friends we should be able to lean on, or,
Mhm.
and cousins, somebody should be there because just that first child alone, that's a big change.
Mhm.
A big change. You need somebody there,
Absolutely.
like, listen, I got you. I'll walk you through it because it's like, change a diaper, wait, a bottle. I'm just trying to sleep. I'm tired. This
Mhm.
baby been up crying all night. I'm tired. It's like you
Yeah.
need somebody just to vent to.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we it and it I like the saying it take a village, and it does.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Because it's a lot. It's a lot on us.
It
But that's
is.
all I wanted to say. And
Okay.
congratulations, Sadie, because little
Thank you
baby.
so much. Much
Well,
Hey,
gratitude.
little
Chanel,
baby.
did
Yes.
you even experience anything in regards to postpartum when you had your children?
Honestly, Aubrey, my first child, I had a support system. My mom and my aunt was there because I was in the same household.
Yeah.
Um, my second child, that's the KG Nez. You probably know him, girl. KG Nez, crazy self. Um, Not so much. So I would think that my last one, it was just like I was dealing with so much, far as like the father, like with the
Mhm.
cheating, and I'm in love with somebody else. Okay, go be with that person. I hope y'all work out. I don't care. But I was so stressed out, and you know, it is the last situation, which is a lot. But
Yeah.
I made it through it, and it's like I'm okay.
Okay.
It's just a lot. But I'm okay. I
Strength.
might not feel like I'm the perfect parent because being a parent doesn't come with rule books. It don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can say I'm just winging it. I'm just trying to be the best I can be.
I understand
Not
that.
in the army, you know. But yeah,
I
but I'm
get it.
trying.
It's okay. And you doing a damn good job. Because listen, your son
Absolutely.
definitely is moving
Gratitude.
forward.
We all strong, doggone it. We strong out here in these streets.
Okay.
Gone and flex. Okay? Gone and motherfucking flex.
Flex, flex. Governess, are you about to drop down like you did before, Governess?
But
Don't
look,
drop
I had 2 points that I want y'all to think about as y'all continue your discussion.
Yes.
One, um, how real it is that some women actually have a mental break where they don't recover mentally, and it
Hmm.
becomes a serious mental issue.
Yes.
And sometimes women don't recover, and that's how real postpartum can be.
Hmm.
Secondly, we never really think about the women who have babies, who babies may come out, like stillborn we mentioned, but like with deformities or Down
Hmm.
Mhm.
syndrome and things like that. Like how much deeper does it go when you're dealing with
Yeah.
those things?
Correct.
Oh,
Correct.
that's true.
Absolutely.
That's heavy, right? Because now
Mhm.
you're not only dealing with this baby, but you're now dealing with an issue that is happening, and you want to be able to make sure that as a mom, especially if this is a first time situation for you, you're like, wait, I'm trying to make sure I'm doing this right in
Yeah.
every way, every corner. And I just the strength, honey. I'm telling you, like, I'm amazed because it takes a lot to do this. And I think that a lot
Mhm.
of people do not understand that childbirth is something that is serious.
Yeah.
Like It has so many different things that nobody is really telling everybody about. Like, you only get the glitz and glam of, girl, we just had a young
Yes.
baby. We just had a little girl. Her name is da da
Yes.
da da. We just had a young little boy. His name is Doot Doot Junior. Okay, like, nobody is telling you that, girl, for 6 weeks, bitch, I did not get out the bed.
Mm.
My mama had to come over here and help me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. And then
nobody is
even
talking about it.
the
Go
woman
ahead, boo.
who has the C sections,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I think it's even different for them in their
Yes.
healing process.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's
Listen,
definitely
I
a
am
lot.
100% agree with that, and I appreciate you, Chanel, for coming up with this particular situation, just to kind of give your 2 cents in on this. Guys, we are going to go ahead and take our first break. The other guest that's up here, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Listen, I am not going to butcher that. So whenever we come back from the break, we're going to hear a word from you. And we're going to take a word and hear a word from our sponsors, guys.
Let's go. It's been a while ago. I've been searching for something, found some love before, but not like this. I can't explain. Try my best, no luck. But then you came around to me, gave my heart a touch. It made me say your name in threes. Can't go back in time to change the past. Found the one that gives me strength to last. I am who I am, can't take it back. I don't want to.
My name is Sean Edwards, and I'm the business owner of Harvest Painting Impressions, and I provide interior and exterior painting and deck staining services to all residential and commercial clients. At Harvest Painting Impressions, I embody the perspective that every home or property has a look and quality of its own, and my primary goal with you as a valued customer is to accentuate the look of your home by adding life to it through the art of applying color. With Painting Impressions as a customer, you will have the option to acquire a variety of service options, promotions, senior discounts, material and labor warranties included with any project. In addition to that, I value the opportunity to provide you with a free and comprehensive service plan that is simple and specifically designed to promote quality performance and, most importantly, your satisfaction. For your free estimate, you can contact me at area code 815-590-6489.
And we are back. We are here talking about postpartum depression, and we're having a sister circle in regards to this. My special guest on today is Tashayana, honey, aka Toddy. She's a new mommy of Bean Bean, honey. Cute still. She's so cute. Oh my gosh. Kiani is gorgeous, y'all. Listen, if y'all
Thank
ain't seen
you.
her, she is
She
everything with
really
her shit.
is.
Isn't
She really
she?
is.
I just love her little personality. It just gives me life. I love it.
Me too.
So before the break, we have been just talking about a couple of things. And you guys are more than welcome to come up in regards to stuff. But before we get into that, I'm gonna go ahead. If you have any businesses that you would like to advertise with us with a walk with the ancestors productions, you can definitely contact a magic walk at gmail.com. If you are interested in doing so, we will have a correspondent get back with you so that we can be able to kind of get you the details in regards to that. So if you are wanting to promote your business or any of that, definitely get in contact with a magic walk at gmail.com, and we will definitely get back with you in the next steps of that. So, prior to the break, we were just kind of talking about, if you're having birth and there's a deformity, C-sections, things of that nature. I wrote a couple of things down, y'all, in regards to kind of triggers for postpartum depression. And some of them are a change in hormone levels after childbirth, previous experience with depression or anxiety, family history of depression or mental health. Like some of that kind of goes into that. And we're going to welcome our next guest that is on here. Girl, can you tell me your name?
Okay, so the name is Tam Lavier, but that's just the Lavier part. Yeah, a lot of people don't know how to pronounce
Okay,
it.
come on, Lavier. I love that.
Okay.
That's real fancy.
Thank you, girl. I made it up. It just came in my head. I'm just
Okay, creativeness. Come through.
So, I kind of want to, and I want to say congratulations to you, Tati.
Thank
I
you.
want to say both of you women are beautiful, and I really do love and adore you guys. But I want to talk about kind of like my experience with postpartum because I kind of am in a family where it's just like you don't really talk about anything, or like I don't really have young friends that kind of went through the same thing that I went through, because I got pregnant at 18, had him at 19. I'm not gonna lie. I think my birth experience would really traumatize me. It was like I was being tortured in the hospital, but I had to get rushed because what's it called? I forget every time. What's it called? Like when you have high blood pressure and
Preeclampsia.
had that. So when I went in for my doctor's appointment, whole time my blood pressure was like 137 over 100 something. Or it was in the hundred. Both of them was in the hundreds. So I was just going for my last checkup. I think I was 39, well 37, 38. My memory bad. But yeah, I was around that point. So it was like my last checkup. Went in, they checked my blood pressure and everything. They kept checking it because it was coming back too high. So my doctor ended up coming in and she was just like, girl, you look sick. And I was just like, oh, well, I didn't really know. Imagine, I had my little makeup on or whatever. I'm like, dang, like, what you trying to say? Like, it's like no hair or nothing. But she was saying that I look real pale. Like, I don't know. Like, it was like the life was being sucked out of me. Like, I was drained, like, my whole pregnancy, because I had to fight physically, mentally, and emotionally with everybody around. And it was no, oh, well, let me hold off because she's pregnant. No, like, I had to do my ones with a few folks. But when it came down to the hospital experience, it was just like, it felt like I was a guinea pig. And they were just testing different things, different that on me. But afterwards, like after I gave birth, it was just like a switch just left. I disconnected from reality. It was like I couldn't tell what was reality and what was. It felt like I was in a dream state, even while awake. But I was so hurt, like, and they had me on so many different type of things to the point I couldn't even hold my own child for like a day or two. I was in the hospital for 5 days in total. Spent 24 hours in labor. I didn't feel anything until they actually gave me Pitocin. After I told them I had a whole birthday plan and everything, they threw that out. They threw it out. They were just like, hey, yeah, we're not gonna go by this. You have this, and this is what we were gonna do. And I'm like, well, I guess because I was young and they felt like, okay, well, we gonna see if we can kind of try to walk over her. But I kind of still held my own, even though I was drugged up the whole time. But afterwards, I couldn't grasp what was reality. It was so hard to really switch from being by myself, because I'm a loner. I love being alone, even though I hate it sometimes. It was hard from turning to that to like having an infant really depend on me. Like I can't do nothing for myself. Like I felt alone. I felt hopeless, and I was just really depressed to the point. It was like, even though it's so sad, and I hate to say this, but I hated my own child at one point, really in the beginning stages. And it was like, I was just like, I hate him. Like, I hate the dad. I hate everything. I hate I put myself in this predicament. It was just a lot. And I just could not. I tried committed suicide twice after I had him. It's kind of ew, I hate emotions. But
No, it's okay, girl. Let it out,
Yeah.
girl. This is a safe space. Safe space.
girl, but the last time was like, I say about 3 months ago, I tried to overdose on the medications that they gave me. So it's like I took like over 6,000 milligrams of pills, and the whole time I was supposed to, I'm thinking like, okay, well, I'm just about to give it, give up, blah, 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 blah. But it was just like, no, I ended up, I don't know, I think it screwed with my brain, like the medication, because it was like, I felt like a blood vessel was about to pop, but I was just like, I'm gonna just let my body heal itself. It was just like some came over me, it was just like, Tammy, yeah, you can't give up now. Like, even though I was just like, I was over it, because it's just a lonely feeling. Like, even though I wasn't the type to go out, I still the thought of being able, like, I could just drop everything, I can go do what I want to do. Like, I can go to another state, or hop up and move, do, like, be irresponsible. And it's like, now I have to be responsible. Like, I can't just think like and be like, okay, yeah, I want to do this, so let's hop and do it. I gotta really think, take time, and really see, oh well, will it benefit him, or will it hurt him, or it's another person I gotta think about. But it was terrible. My postpartum, I'm not gonna, it was terrible. Girl, I went through it. And then just even being, because I'm 20 now, and just even looking back, like, I'm at peace, because I'm a year and 6 months in now. I'm at peace a little bit. I still got a lot to do. I still got a lot of work, but I'm getting to the point where it's just like, okay, acceptance. Like, I look like, when I take I love my baby to the full. Like, it's so crazy. Like, I can't explain it. But it's just, at first I did not like him. And I didn't like him. I didn't like him. And it hurt me so bad, and I felt so guilty. But when I had to go back to the vision board and learn about myself more, because I felt like I didn't have the opportunity to learn about myself. Like, I'm just now hopping out of high school at 17, then boom, 18, I'm pregnant, then 19, boom, I'm having a baby in college. Like, it's like I didn't feel like I lived, like, go to parties, go to this, do that, be on the scene, but it was never really my scene to begin with. But yeah, it was me.
Number one, let me just say, um, you are a fighter. And I think that you being able to say, let me be very transparent about how I felt about this, because there's a lot of women that feel like you feel. You're not the first one, and you're not going to be the last. So I show so much gratitude for you being able to say that this is a safe space for me to be able to be transparent and get what I felt out, because I felt that this was an unfair process for me. Right. And the number one question that I have for you now is, what do you need to be able to help you feel like you're able to get whatever additional boost to keep you on a leveled playing field with everything? What do you think that you need now that you may not have?
Most importantly, myself, full and all, like me. At the end of the day, like me, like, I feel as if, like, because I've been, like, my whole life, I've been putting myself in the wrong people's hands, and like, accept me, accept me, accept me, please accept me. So I accept myself. But it's just like, really, because I didn't like myself in the beginning. Like, I didn't like myself either. But it's just like, now I'm getting to the point, like, I really fuck with myself. Like, we cool. Like, I'm cool and all. But I think that's mainly that. And like, just Um, I say sometimes reassurance, but really just people around like with positive energy, really just pouring into you, you know,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
sometimes I don't really give myself the props because I feel as if, oh well, I'm not doing enough. It's more that I can do. So it's like I'm always thinking, oh well, what can I do now? Like I can do better, like I can do more, I can do more. But I don't
Mhm.
take the time to really say, hey, you did it. Like, you're getting through. I haven't fully gotten through it, but you're getting through it. And it's like time, even though I'm very impatient, but time really does heal and really just having yourself like have your own back, honestly, like rather than just really depending on people because every time people not gonna show up, you know? So that's really it. And just really enjoying being with him and being a mom in
Yeah.
general,
Yeah.
that's really it. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it. I get it, Lavier. What do you have to say, Toddy, to her in regards to anything?
I just want to say that I love that you persevered and you didn't give up on yourself and you allowed yourself to feel everything. Um, because that helped you through
Mhm.
it all. You know what I mean? Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Um, you know, but not willing to give up. Still at the end of the day, because this is so it's not easy and it does not stop, and you have to find a balance, and that's not easy. And even though I have support, and I have the father of my child here, it's a difference, but it's still hard, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I can only imagine, without the support that I do have. So just kudos to you, and
Absolutely.
um congratulations as well. And you got this for sure.
You do.
You too. You too.
And we support
Definitely.
you.
Thank
Yes, we
you.
support you.
Absolutely.
We support you because period. Even to
Period.
where like even if like we can get something going for like the moms that really will take it seriously for like a group or something to be created for you guys
Hmm.
to be able to kind of like thoroughly talk about it. Like it's 3 o'clock in the rising, but somebody knows that I'm up with my baby and who
Yep.
somebody else is up with their baby. And like,
Yep.
girl, they won't go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? So you can
Yep.
figure out certain things. So we'll talk about it, off the show. And I'll see if we can get something going like that for y'all because I feel like a lot of y'all will probably need that because that support from another woman that knows what you're going through is
Hmm.
like it's the best thing that you could need. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So absolutely. So,
Absolutely.
Lavier, we appreciate you coming up and even just giving your 2 cents and saying, "Hey, this is what I am going through," and I'm telling you, somebody is going to watch this or is currently watching or rewatch and know exactly what the fuck you're talking about. And that's why I said it's no judgment here. Because at the end of the day, you may not have felt that way, but there is somebody out here that may have felt the same way she did. And you don't have to put her into a box because
Yeah.
she feels that way, you know?
Yeah. And I want to say another thing to the moms, because I felt guilty taking time for myself because the pregnancy, I didn't take pictures. I didn't keep myself up. I was just in a down place. And it's just like, you know, take pictures, do this, go out and do that, like do like a belly cast, like anything like creative, or just do anything like DIY or anything like just
Yeah.
so you can look back and actually see, because you're gonna look back, and even though you see a lot of bad right now, when you look back, you're gonna eventually see the good. You're gonna eventually see it. And it's okay to take time for yourself. It doesn't make you selfish. It doesn't, like, you shouldn't feel guilty. Like, that's just, say like, baby, those are not my thoughts, those are not my feelings, they
Mm-hmm.
keep it pushing, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's okay to be, yeah, I mean, and even afterwards, like it takes a lot to get to, like, get used to, especially if you're a first time mom, and even after, you know, like it still takes a lot to get used to. But it's okay to take time out for yourself and really
Yeah.
to show yourself appreciation, show your body appreciation in general.
Mhm.
Like, even if you don't like what you see in the mirror, just stand in the mirror and be like, oh well, girl, you look good as fuck today, you
Okay,
know, or
experience.
you know, exactly. And be like, girl, like, even dress yourself up, girl. Go out, go do something. Like, you know, don't just sit in the house, like, because you're going to think. You're going to
Mm-hmm.
really feel those terrible emotions. Like, sit in the house, you will get depressed. You know, go out. Like, go, even if you're going out in your backyard, baby, go out, sit in the grass, you know,
Mm-hmm.
smell the air, everything, because that takes a lot from you. Like, and I really did try to do grounding. Like, I just go outside, take my shoes off, sit in the grass, talk to the trees, hug the trees. That really made it so, like, it took a lot of, you know, excess negative energy off of me. Like, it really did remove it, you know.
Mhm.
Just take time for yourself, you know, go out, explore. Just because you got a baby that don't stop shit, you know, baby, just do what you got to do. I'm telling you, it don't stop nothing. I hate when people say that. Yeah, you know, you have a responsibility, but at the end of the day, you're still responsible for you too. You know,
Right.
you're responsible to take care of yourself, because at the end of the day, nobody gonna take care of yourself other than you, like how you would. You know, so
I love that.
that's what I really want to say to the mothers and, you know, upcoming mothers. You know, just show yourself appreciation, everything. You know, you'll get past it, baby.
Absolutely.
You'll get past it. But I show gratitude. I gotta go, but I show gratitude to you
Okay.
all. And I really do want to show appreciation to this whole entire family, because I'm not gonna lie, like, I really do enjoy, even though I don't talk as much, like, I'm just now starting to talk, but I really do love the fact that this is a safe space for everyone, you know, like, and
Mhm.
I show gratitude to you all for, and even to Miss Quatita for even bringing this to life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
you know, because it's not easy. It's not, but I love it here. I'm not gonna lie, I love it here.
We love it. And I appreciate you for giving those words because I'm looking at the chat and everybody is absolutely agreeing with you. And I appreciate you just coming on here and being able to say your words. And I'm gonna get everybody else in. But we appreciate you, Lavie, for coming on today.
I appreciate you guys too, and love you to life. See you
Love
all
you to life.
soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
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 We're gonna welcome Brittany, Tink, Tavion, Raven White, Sade, Dalton. Hi, ladies. How are y'all?
Greetings.
Greetings, greetings.
Hello.
I kn-
Greetings.
is Brittany the one that came in first that was in the car? Is
Yes,
that you?
I think
yes,
that is
that's
her.
me. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I'm gonna
me.
get you
I was
first, and
having
then
some
Tink, I'm gonna get you
difficulties.
next.
Okay. Well, I had my first kid at 16. So back then, being young, being a first time mom, it was stressful.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh well, I think I got it because I don't watched all my little cousins, but it's a difference when it's your kid and it's not no, oh hi, here go your child, they going home is no, you're mine. And being in school, it was kind of stressful, but when I had my first child, I will say I did have the support system. My mom was still living. I had her grandmother, which I don't really deal with her grandmother like that, but they helped me, basically, like, help me out with her while I was, in school and working and stuff like that. And I'm already a person that's, like, how can I explain it? I'm to myself. I really don't, like, talk about my feelings, my problems and stuff like that. But now as I'm older and I have three more other kids, so four in total, it's like, dang, I wish me and my mother would have really, really, really been close. So I could have really opened up, and maybe some of the things that I was going through that she possibly could have, you know, helped me with. But I'm like, nah, that's my mama. She not gonna really understand, you know.
Mhm.
But now it's just like sometimes I feel like, oh, I still have, you know, postpartum because I just had a baby 6 months ago. So I'm just
Oh,
like, yeah,
congratulations.
yeah, thank you. And congratulations to you, Toddy, too. Congratulations. Bean Bean is
Thank
adorable.
you.
She's so
Thank you.
stinking
Congratulations
cute.
to you.
Thank you. But it's just like some days I'm feeling like, oh, I got this. But some days I'm just like, I'm in my mind constantly all the time. And it's like, am I doing this right? Am I being the best mother for my kids? You know, it's it's like your world is spinning around and around and around in my head. That's how it is. And then like the overstimulation, I didn't know anything about that. But once I and it's crazy because I came across it on TikTok. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's what it is. I'm overstimulated. Like, I don't want to snap at my kids, but I snap and I'm like, oh my God, now I feel so bad because I done snapped on them. And I'm just like, it's not y'all fault. It is not y'all fault. You know, it's just a lot on my, you know, a lot on my mind, a lot on my plate. And it's like my last three kids, I'm still with their dad. And it's like their dad is there, but it's like, I just gotta be super mom. Like, you know, you chill out. Let me do this. Let me do that. You know, and it's just crazy. And I'm like, well, you know, the dad is here. You know, he can get he can get the baby. He can, you know, deal with the kids. But I'm like, nah, I got this. You know, I'm mom. You know, and I guess maybe I have to get out of that mentality of
Yeah.
I'm mom. And
Mhm.
because I'm not gonna say the dad don't step in, but he steps in. But I'm just like, I got this. Like, you know, it's like I carry all them on my back, and
Yeah.
you know, it's just crazy. It's
It's
crazy
like
how it works.
a lioness with her cubs. How
Yes.
the cubs really don't interact with the male lion until a certain, age or whatever. But
Mhm.
the lioness is very protective of her cubs. She
Yes.
will have a litter of four. And baby,
Mhm.
all four of them better be following behind their mama. If not, you gonna hear a growl soon.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So I get
And
it.
it's crazy. But now the stuff that I know now is kind of like it's getting better. You just got to take it one day at a time. You know, it may seem like
Mhm.
it's a lot, but
Yeah.
just deal with it, you know, step by step because the other lady, I didn't even get to see her name because I was driving. But when she was starting like not was start well like hating her child.
Yeah.
I felt like that at one point in time with my first point, my
Hmm.
first child. And I
Yeah.
was like, I don't want to have these thoughts because I don't hate her because she's a part of me. You know,
Yeah.
she's literally a spitting image of me. And I'm
Hmm.
just like, what is it? But now I know it's just a mind thing. I know it's just a mind thing, and it's just world spinning round and round and round and round and round. It's like a roller coaster, you know.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, but I mean, it gets better. It gets better. Just take it day by day. You know, you getting stressed out, walk out. You know, walk outside. You know, that's what I'm trying to learn to do. Like, cause I keep so much in. So
Yeah.
when I get overstimulated, I be like, you know, I want to go crazy. But it's
Yeah.
just like no, because I don't want my kids to see, oh well, mama probably really is crazy. And you know, being young and they be like, you gotta fill out this little questionnaire. In the back of my mind, I'm like, if I fill out this questionnaire how I really want to fill out, is they gonna take my baby from me? You know,
Yes.
they try to gonna put me on different types of medications and all this and label me crazy. And I tried to go to therapy. It was a genome lady. I'm sorry, we couldn't connect. And
Yeah.
I ain't even gonna lie, we couldn't connect. I was just like, I'm not even feeling. You looking at me, I'm looking at you. You're not gonna be able to help me. You just gonna make me mad.
Right.
So I just left therapy alone, and I was like, I'm gonna just go with the flow. I mean,
Yeah.
I have to. I'm not, you know. But yeah, that's all I had to say because I gotta run in Walmart.
No, it's okay, Brittany. I wanted to make sure I got you because I was like, oh, she dropped down. I hope everything is okay. But I appreciate you just coming on and letting them know throughout you being in a situation to where you are in your relationship and you have other babies that it gets better. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because it it gets better. It's better than saying that it's not going to get better at all. You know what I
right,
mean? So
right.
I think that you saying, "Hey, I have um additional children on top of me being a new mom at a younger age. It shows your strength, and we show gratitude for you coming on during this segment to be able to kind of talk about your experience. And I appreciate those words that you gave to those ladies that may be experiencing the same thing. We appreciate you and love you to life.
Yes. And gratitude, same to y'all. And Aubrey, honey, baby, you is slaying, baby. You is slaying down. All right, you guys, love y'all to life. Y'all have a good one. I'm gonna drop down in the chat.
All right, yes, ma'am. Guys, we have some people up here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick break. Our second break. So Tink, Raven, Sade, Busy, ladies, stay up here so that we can go ahead and hear our second word for our sponsors, and we'll be right back after the messages, guys.
Greetings, governess. How are you today? She's already sent me his picture. She's already paid for the services. A little background about it is that basically with the police, they're not giving her much information, and she just wants to know like where to begin. Like, how did this all start? You know, who could be a possible suspect?
Say somebody is driving and like somebody pulls in front and like I need to go around, but they keep like, okay, hold on, God. Hold on a second.
I really keep feeling like there's a genome involved here. Let me tell you what I keep hearing. Like, there's something about a genome or someone of a different culture. I also feel like there's a police involvement here. Some sort
Listen, I don't want no smoke.
I love that. I don't want no smoke. All right. Welcome back to Diversity. And on today, we're having the conversation with these beautiful women with my special guest, Tasha, aka Toddy. I mean, we're talking about postpartum and how postpartum is affecting a lot of our Melanite women and just women in general. And so before the break, we've had a lot of our cousins come up, Lavier, Chanel. We had Brittany come up, and they were just giving just advice on their particular experiences, and we're going to allow these ladies to do the same. But before we do that, if you guys are interested in advertising with the Walk with the Ancestors Productions, you could be able to email the magicwalk@gmail.com. Again, that email is magicwalk@gmail.com, and we will gladly get back with you with all of the information in regards to putting your ad right here on our show. So before the show, we had Brittany and Tink. You came on next. So welcome to the show, girl. Glad that you stayed. What do you have to talk about in your experiences with postpartum depression?
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
First, I would like to say thanks for having this space. This is so good. I feel like it's so amazing.
You're welcome.
So first.
Hey, you so pretty. Hi.
Say hi.
Hi.
Okay. Open your orange, okay? Thank you. So I had my baby. I got pregnant with her when I was 27, and I had her when I was 28. Mm-hmm. So
First, like I had this like entire plan. Like, I'm very big on not taking medicine and stuff. So I had a midwife instead of a OB. So, first, my very first appointment with the OB, um, one, she was not our color. So
Yes.
she did not listen to me. She automatically, because I've always been a heavier woman, she automatically just looked at the numbers on a paper and told me because I was of my height and because I was black that I high risk for preeclampsia.
Wow.
And she automatically put that on my paper. And in order to have a low intervention midwife, you have to not need extra medicine and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I told her, I'm like, I don't take medicine. I will do other things for medicine if anything goes wrong. But she didn't even
Mm-hmm.
look at my blood pressure or anything. She just automatically put that in the system. And I'm like, she automatically told me that I should be taking baby aspirin and everything. I'm like, you didn't listen to nothing that I just said. I will
Wow.
never come back in your office. Never. So my blood pressure was perfect my whole entire pregnancy. She also told me that I could not gain 1 pound while I was pregnant. And I ended up losing 51 pounds, not sick or anything during my pregnancy. So amazing,
Okay, cause period.
But my whole entire pregnancy was mostly like peaceful. I wasn't allowing anybody to stress me out. I
Yeah.
lived in a town by myself, like away from family. It was mostly her dad's family there, but they really didn't like me. But that was like another thing that caused me to have postpartum depression too. So
Yeah.
I ended up going into labor. Like I literally, again, planning everything out. I'm like, okay, I got this planned out. I'm about to go get my hair braided, get ready to go in labor. So literally at 5 o'clock in the morning, my water break, and I'm like, I didn't know like that was my water. So I had a friend at the time like who has 2 kids. So I called her. I'm like, yeah, I went to go use the bathroom, but then now I'm laying back down, like it still feel like I'm peeing on myself. So that's the thing. Nobody told me that it's not gonna be a big gush, like
Yeah.
yeah, like a big gush. It's just like it's like you peeing on yourself. Really, it's
The
like a
full
slow leak.
experience. Yeah.
Yeah, like a
Yeah.
slow leak. I'm like, okay. So she was like, "That's your water. I think that's your water." So she told me to put a pad on so that by the time I go to the hospital, they'll tell me if it's my water or not. So I'm still not having contractions or anything. So I'm
Hmm.
literally calm. So I called her dad. He was not answering the phone. He didn't. So by the time I spoke to him, he really thought I was playing because I play too much. Like I be joking around and stuff. So he's like, "It's too early for you to be playing." Like I'm like, "I'm serious." Like, come
Right.
on. So by the time I get to the hospital, they was like telling me that yeah, my water broke and everything. So by this time, I was in my water had broke for like 6 hours, and I still haven't had like any contractions. So when I get to the hospital, the same midwife that I told her I would never come back in her office, she was the midwife on call. So I told them I will have this baby by myself. She cannot come in my room at all. She can have
Uh-huh.
no contact with me at all. And I told my midwife, if I go into labor and you're not the one on call, I'm still going to make them tell you to come. Like, I'm not playing. Like, this is
Hmm.
how strong, like, I was so serious. So she was like, okay. So they kept on asking me, did I want to be under their care? I'm like, no, I do not want to be under your care. Call my midwife. Call Lori Maybry. And they like, keep on trying to redirect me to them. I said, call Lori Maybrier. Like, I'm not saying nothing else. Call her. So they called her and she was like, she'll be right over at the clinic. I was like, thank you. So she was like, yeah, they told me how you acted. I said, I told you I was going to do that because they haven't been listening to me anyway. And
Right.
then, yeah, I had told them, don't ask me about no epidural, anything. Don't ask me about anything. I don't want none of that. And as being a black woman, having to advocate for myself in this hick town,
Yeah.
like I was very stern on, no, I don't want no medicine, and I'm sticking on it. Like, no,
Right.
don't give me anything to induce labor. No, like
Hmm.
this is what my body is made for. Don't give me anything.
Correct. Correct.
So my midwife, she was like, well, I know how serious you are. She was like, just get a breast pump and it'll start your contractions. They could have been telling me this a long time ago before she came so that my contractions can start.
Mm-hmm.
So after that, my contractions started. They didn't have to give me any medicine, but then like it was still slow that my contractions wasn't starting, and they was like telling me like if my water is broken for so long that they will have to give me something for um to bring to labor, because if my baby's in there without fluid around her, then
Is that
things could go bad.
Pitocin or something? Is that what they call it? Pitocin to get it
Yeah,
started?
they end up, I allowed them to give me Pitocin. So then
She is
I
so
got to
cute.
7 centimeters. I got to 7 centimeters without any medicine.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a monitor on her, and then I was looking at it. Her heart rate was at 200. I was
Yeah.
the one to pay attention to it because they was giving me stress tests for no reason, but thank God that they did, because I wouldn't have known something was wrong with her heart rate.
Yes.
So, but when I said, I'm like, why is my baby heart rate up that high? And like every time I have a contraction, her heart rate would go up to 200, almost 300. And I'm like, that's not normal for her. They're like, well, it's normal because you're in labor. I'm like, that's not normal. I've been getting stress tests. That's not normal. So,
This is crazy.
yes. So I ended up having to get the epidural. I cried 2 rivers and 3 oceans because I just didn't want it. But then, like, my mom is a nurse, so she was on the phone. Like, that's the other experience. Mom, I was 2 hours away from home, and my mom, like, I had her in February, so it was ice and snowing. So she 2 hours away, so she couldn't come to my labor. So that's another like thing that like made me feel so alone. Like, yeah, her dad was there, but he already had a bunch of kids, so this experience is not his first experience. So he like he's not excited as I am. So I'm like
Mm-hmm.
not there with this emotional support from him. So
Right.
by the time that it was time for me to have like the emergency C-section, like I got the upper door and stuff. So I get to the back, and like when they get ready to cut me open, I literally feel them stabbing me. So I'm like, why do I feel this? They was like, you're gonna feel pressure. I said, no, I don't feel pressure. I can feel them stabbing me. And he made the anesthesiologist make them stop and like gave me more medicine, and then I didn't feel anything after that. So then when my baby came out, I didn't hear her cry. So thank God, at the time I had a friend who was a nurse at the hospital that I was at. Um, I kept telling her, because she was the baby's nurse. I kept telling her, don't let them do anything to my baby. I only trust you with my baby, because she's from
Yeah.
Jamaica. She's from Jamaica,
Yeah.
very holistic too. So I'm like, I don't trust anybody but you. So don't let them do anything with my baby.
Right.
So I can't. I'm like, why my baby not crying? Why my baby not crying? I'm like, why my baby not crying?
Mm-hmm.
They was like, they have to take her to the back. They have to take her to the back. She was born not breathing. So I even have a picture like later of her, them holding her, like when she first came out. You could tell that she wasn't her right color and everything when she came out. So um I remember after coming out of having my C-section or whatever, I'm just like, you're like super thirsty, like, and everything. So fast forward, so it's time to go home. My baby, no, in the hospital they told me not to start pumping.
Mm-hmm.
The nurses told me not to start pumping, but it was a black nurse that told me like, no, if you want to produce milk for your baby, start pumping now. Like, why wouldn't you start pumping for your baby to have milk or whatever?
Girl, what?
So
This is insane.
yeah,
I know, right? I feel like I am on a fucking series where it's the climax of the story is getting so good. Like, I'm like, girl, what's next? Because I'm sitting here like, bitch, the
I'm,
hospital would have been
I'm like
told the fuck up.
a movie for real. So um so once I started pumping and stuff for her, like I had just put her to sleep. So like they don't tell you about cluster feeding. Like when you first had a baby, they don't tell you about cluster feeding. And I had literally just put her to sleep, and I'm barely getting sleep. So they come in here to do different stuff. and asking me about vaccinations. And so I was like, I had already gave them the pepper break. Don't ask me about vaccinations. She's not getting this. She's not getting that. Like, don't ask me. So they kept on asking me, and they was like, well, you know, this, and this can happen. I said, I just said, don't ask me this, and you waking her up. I just put her to sleep. Like, it's like very frustrating. I'm just putting her to sleep. I'm tired. Like, we've been up all night. Like, you can't even get a break. Like, so we go home, and it's like, oh, this is my responsibility. Like, this is new. Like, and nobody told me about baby blues. Like, I was like having the baby blues, like crying for no reason. With having this emergency C-section, like I had everything planned out. Don't ask me about medicine. Like, I'm gonna push my baby out in water. Like, I had the whole thing planned out, and it went totally opposite. Like, totally opposite. Thank God I did like listen to them. Like, you gotta have a C-section. Like, because who knows what would happen to my baby if I didn't. So what happened C-section, I feel like a total failure. Like, I feel like I wasn't even a mom. Like, I felt like I like lost that. Like, wait a minute, I was at 7 centimeters. Why couldn't I push her out? It was only like a few more to go. Like, I even had my mom and auntie later. Like, okay, since I was at 7, can I still push her out? Like, can't this be redone? Like, so it was like, no, it don't work like that. Well, of course, a minute later, but like having a C-section made me feel like, right, this not what I wanted to happen. Like, I'm not mom. Like, I didn't push her out, so like, no, this was all going through my head, and like being in the tent by myself. It's just me and her. I'm a first time mom. Any little thing happening, like, and then they make you watch this video about SIDS before you leave the hospital, or you can't leave the hospital. So now I'm extra paranoid. Like, is my baby breathing? Like, literally the word SIDS kept going through my head every time she sleeps. SIDS. Like, I'm like, this driving you crazy too. This adding on to your postpartum too. It's like, and then you by yourself. And I'm like, I don't know what to do for this. Like, I don't know what to do for this. Like, of course I'm asking other people, but it's different. Like, when you're by yourself. And like, I wasn't building supply for milk, so that made me feel like less because I wasn't eating. Like, your appetite is lost sometimes. Like, then my hair and edges was like coming out, and my hair is very thick and pretty. So I'm like, hold on, this ain't what's going on. My hair, like, energy to do anything, clean up, nothing. Like, I was like in this dark space, like by myself.
I feel you, girl.
Come in the house, like, you need to clean up. I'm like, you need to help me. Like, all by myself all day. You're not even helping me. So like, it's not until she was like 1, almost 2, that I moved back to St. Louis, Missouri, and like start realizing like where I was at. Like, I would come here to St. Louis and then go back, still having my apartment there, and like looking at my house. This house is a mess. Like, I can't believe I'm living in this. Like, I'm not me. I realized I'm not me. And I started like therapy. I love my therapist. She's one of us, so she understands it.
So, Tink, let me ask you a question, because I can tell that a lot of this has been something that you have just been wanting to talk about for a while, right? So, what advice can you give to the moms that are out there, so therefore everybody else can have the time to come in and talk and tell their kind of testimonials too? What advice do you have because of your experience? Because I'm looking at the chat and I'm seeing everybody, they're like, I cannot believe this has happened. But a lot of people are also indicating about their experiences and really connecting with what you're saying. So what do you have to say to women in regards to this situation that have dealt with a difficult hospital, for 1, and 2, that may have had plans that did not necessarily go their way, and another reason, 3, coming out on the other side of this with your beautiful baby as we see now? Like, what advice do you have for any mothers?
So my advice is, 1, I had a huge problem like being in control of everything, and that was my lesson with having her. Like, you cannot plan everything to a T, like having things like planned to a T, because it's something's gonna happen. Like, everything does not have to be perfect. That's the Virgo in me. So everything does not have to be perfect. So that was one thing that I had to learn. And then another thing, with the hospitals, like, just make sure you like advocate for yourself, like a strong advocate for yourself, or even having a doula. I didn't have a doula, but like I knew, like, no, don't allow them to just tell you anything to do anything. Because if I would have started taking baby aspirin, not knowing that I would have had to have an emergency C-section, I could have bled out. So just different things like that. And like now to like, don't be afraid to talk about it.
Yeah.
Don't feel like somebody's gonna judge you, because now I'm seeing, like, I even had a friend who just recently had a baby, and she's like a single mother too. So I'm like, I went through this so that I can help you. So like, it's not it didn't happen to you, it happens for you, so that you can be able to help somebody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I appreciate you being able to kind of let everybody know, your story, just a small tidbit of it, because it was definitely layers to your cake. So I appreciate you coming on, Tink. And I saw you like, how can I come on? How can I come on? So what I want you to do is next week, we are going to have a doula on the show. So I want you to come back next week so that you can be able to ask additional questions and or get more information about this process. I show so much gratitude for you coming on and being able to express everything about your pregnancy and your delivery as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I'll see you next week, okay?
See you later.
Bye. Hey, Raven girl, how you doing?
Hello.
Welcome up. Is she on here?
Oh, yeah, I'm on here. I'm sorry. I was trying to park and I'm late to my friend's birthday dinner and I'm like
Girl,
struggling.
okay.
I'm so
Well,
sorry.
listen. No. Listen. What do you got to say real quick? Happy birthday,
Okay.
friend.
She's gonna be mad at me. I'm like 2 hours late, but I mean everybody late, so it's not just my fault. But I just wanted to say, this is really beautiful. I'm glad that you're holding this space for a lot of mothers, and soon to be mothers. And I think it's really important to have this because, they don't tell you all the things that you could possibly deal with and all the different, like, oh, I forgot her name. I'm so sorry. The lady that was just speaking, all the stuff that she had to deal with, that's something that happens. And with my journey, which I, but I had a lockdown, and that was kind of hard, adjusting to motherhood and also being like isolated. So I think something that was something like looking back now, I wish I knew, is that you have to get comfortable with the new you, that comes out of having a kid. You can't just, go out and with your friends and think like, oh, everything's fine. You're back to the old you. You're feeling the same. It's like I felt detached from who I was. And so like even with going out with friends when I could before right before lockdown, because I was supposed to go back to work as soon as lockdown happened, and it was just I just felt so far removed from who I was, and I kept trying to get back to that, and I finally had to realize I'm probably never going to get back to being the Raven that was before having my son. I'm just going to have to adjust and figure out who the new Raven is. And that's something that I'm still trying to figure out. But it's, like I said, it's a journey, I think. It also doesn't help that. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
No. I'm listening. I'm saying it is a journey. I'm listening. I am.
No, you're fine. I think I'm just trying to park. I'd be struggling. But I cannot park for nothing. But Yeah, it's definitely a journey. And with my, along with that, with kind of being isolated from friends and just going outside and doing normal things. Also had to deal with, just losing, laid off from a job, and laid off from one job, and then while having my son, and I just felt more. I guess I felt like I was more secure. I was stable when before I had my son, and I didn't have that type of worry that I did have. And then once I had him, that's when those things happened I never had to deal with before.
Absolutely. So. It was just it was complex, but I think that you being able to still give somebody words of wisdom in this particular situation is still the great thing about it. So you are a superstar too, Raven girl. Don't let that beat yourself. You're in a different place. You're in a better place now. So I think that a lot of women can attest that you just got to kind of get through it the best way that you can, but also understand that it's going to get better. So I think that ultimately a lot of people will be able to kind of understand your circumstance as well. And I appreciate you coming up and telling us.
Thank you, Aubrey. And one thing I do, I'm sorry. One thing that I consciously try to do is just try to inform everybody, because I was the first friend out of my group to have a kid. So just letting my friends know, like, hey, like, these things could happen, and this is what the kind of support maybe I actually did need, but I couldn't voice it at the time.
Yeah.
And just knowing, like, making sure, like if when my friends do have kids, to be there for them, in the way that I know I needed support. But they just say no, because you don't know when you don't have a kid until, like, dang, this is what I really need right now. Just drop off some food. Don't bother me. Do the dishes.
Yeah. Listen, is that BB, honey?
Yes. That's a 3-month-old baby and her cussing folks out. I told you she don't cry like a normal baby. She be cussing folks out. That's too much lovey in her.
Girl, all you have to do is act it up.
I want to see Bean Bean. Get Bean Bean.
Okay, babe.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm parked now.
Raven, did you get the car parked, sis?
I'm sorry. I did. Finally. That's what's
like, let me get this car parked.
No one can ever, if someone said you cannot, you're absolutely right. You're right. I cannot. It's the struggle.
Hold on. You're breaking up.
We have about a few minutes before your next break. So.
Okay. So what we're gonna do is, guys.
What y'all want to see this baby, and she was upset.
Hey, girl.
Mommy, the people.
How you doing? Hey.
What's wrong with you, Beans?
I'm just hungry.
Vinny.
You need something in your tummy?
What up, Puda? Oh, mommy. It's okay.
What are you doing?
Hello to the people. It's okay.
Oh, you telling us what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, and who will? And then
she's so pissed off. She don't know what to do with herself. She's so mad. It's okay, mamas. Uh-oh, there go your favorite.
Girl, she be trying to move these figures.
Why is she so cute?
She be trying to put the Pepsi in her mouth herself.
Look how little she is. She look big on the pictures, but she tiny, y'all. She's so small.
Oh, girl. Oh, girl, please.
Let me get out of here.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take Sade. We're coming to you next after the break in Busy. We're gonna take our last break, guys, and we're gonna hear the last words from our sponsors. We appreciate you guys and your patience, and we'll talk to you guys in just a few moments.
Never forget to look within as you shine from the inside out. Book your general reading, your scribed reading, and your past life reading with Charming Tea at www.awalkwiththeancestors.com.
My name is Sean Edwards, and I'm the business owner of Harvest Painting Impressions, and I provide interior and exterior painting and deck staining services to all residential and commercial clients. At Harvest Painting Impressions, I embody the perspective that every home or property has a look and quality of its own, and my primary goal with you as a valued customer is to accentuate the look of your home by adding life to it through the art of applying color. With Harvest Painting Impressions as a customer, you will have the option to acquire a variety of service options, promotions, senior discounts, material and labor warranties included with any project. In addition to that, I value the opportunity to provide you with a free and comprehensive service plan that is simple and specifically designed to promote quality performance and, most importantly, your satisfaction. For your free estimate, you can contact me at area code 815-590-6489.
Welcome back. And that was a word from our sponsors. This is Diversity. And on today, we have just been having a sister circle conversation revolving around postpartum depression. That was Bing in her cam debut, honey. You still, Kiani.
My pumpkin.
So if you are interested in any type of sponsorships, you can definitely give us an email at a magical walk at gmail.com, and we can definitely kind of give you any additional feedback, and you'll be able to speak with a correspondent. What were you going to say, Toddy, girl?
I kind of want to speak on some things before we move forward.
Yes, go ahead.
Because a lot of people was tapping on some stuff that I kind of wanted to dive into from my experience, but so really quick, I'm hearing some perspectives, and it's showing me how different things are for other people. So I just want to briefly kind of go through my experience and just different just bouncing off whatever. But before I go into this, can anybody else relate with the mommy fog brain? Because half the time I don't know what I'm saying. I don't remember what I walked in here to get. And it is just, my brain is fried. Anyway, so I want to start off by saying I had midwives too. My experience was completely different. I loved my midwives. I had a holistic induced pregnancy. My midwives and my nurses kind of had an even little spackle, little drama going on. That's how serious they was with even advocating for me, because it was like we were a team. So I just also hate how, as Black women, we are so pushed under the rug, unheard, or we're being dramatic and so forth. So yes, always advocate for yourself. I was in labor for 48 hours. I was being induced at 36 weeks because I had ICP, which I feel like also gets swept under the rug. You don't hear about it often. I had never heard of it ever in my life. To break it down, my gallbladder stopped working, and so it was putting bile into my bloodstream, which was making my liver fail. So they had to get my baby out of there because she was going to be jaundiced and possibly could be stillbirth. But she was completely fine, which I knew. She was jaundiced, but she wasn't even that jaundiced. Clock that T.
Okay, period.
And I really don't even think she needed her steroid shots for her lungs because they too strong now at this point.
Okay. Y'all heard her.
So yes, so even if you feel like during your pregnancy you were like are too itchy, that's the main cause. Like if you're itching, you should not be itching. So just make sure that you're looking out for that. Also, I wanted to speak on. I have a boyfriend and baby daddy that's been with me every step of the way, and even though he has been with me every step of the way, it is still not easy at all.
Yeah.
And I recently was battling with myself because I'm feeling resentment, and I know that's common with people who have support. But also, I feel like it's you. We have to remember as mothers that it's okay to need a break, and it's okay to understand that you have support and you're supported during this time because postpartum kind of warps your brain a little bit. And as a mom, you're going to do more. I had to kind of like swallow that pill and then, take away the mom guilt with that because then you feel mom guilt. Like, dang, why do I feel like, you know what I'm saying? I don't mind doing it. But resentment is created when, you know, you're the mom, so you're already doing more on top of you're
Yeah.
already doing more. You know what I mean? So, speak up when it's needed. But also, we're just the nurturers. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's just like,
Natural.
yeah, and don't beat yourself up about wanting to break. Um, yeah, so I feel like it was something else I wanted to say too. It was just a lot of stuff that we kind of had in common. Like I think one of the girls said that she didn't get along with the dad's part of the family. I can relate with
Yeah.
you, girl. I can relate with you, damn.
Yeah.
But um what else? I forget what the other girl said that I wanted to talk about, but I just kind of wanted to put that tidbit out there
You
real
just
quick
kind of
before
like
we.
been marking off your checklist.
Yeah, I was trying to like mark it off, but also remember because
Yeah.
of what I wanted to kind of touch on and stuff like that. But yeah,
Well,
so I just wanted to say that.
when we end, rewatch this because I want you to come back next week when we talk the charms, so that you can
Okay.
be able to kind of get more stuff going too. So within that, just take your notes.
Okay.
Use this as like your source, but that's good too because now. Like even with that, you see how you being able to listen to everybody else testimonials, how that was
Mhm.
just like, girl, I know. Like
Yeah.
you too, that was me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Mhm.
it's like it's helping in the most beautiful way. I'm seeing it
Yeah.
help like in real time. It's so good. I love
Period.
it. Sade, welcome, honey. You have been patient with us. We have just been having this conversation. How are you on today, and what do you have to tell moms that are dealing with postpartum depression?
Greetings. I'm loving the conversation. Toddy, I want to say congrats to your baby. She's beautiful. Um, I just really want to talk about like the postpartum, like, because this kind of always gets me a little emotional. Just because I went through it, alone, and not to take away from, women who have support, because I did have people to support me, but it's just, it's kind of like shame, embarrassment, you kind of keep it in. But when governor said, the crying, that hit me, because it was like my daughter, every night she would sleep all night. She was a great baby, and it's like clockwork. Every night, lay her down, I'm in the bathroom, like crying on the floor. And it's not like you can just stop it. Like, I would be telling myself to stop, and it just wouldn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you can go through it, but there's always triggers too. So I just try to, do my best. I'm not perfect. And then I lost my brother, so that kind of added depression. But I kind of look at it differently now. you know, that I did find governess because, it just really put everything in perspective to me. And
Mm-hmm.
I thank you guys for having this conversation because, it isn't talked about enough for us Black women, especially coming together, being safe together,
Yeah.
so gratitude.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I appreciate you being honest and being transparent about how you felt and what you experienced. It's very, very important because somebody could definitely be going through the same situation. And I think that that's
Absolutely.
the most important because you just never know. As long as somebody is able to connect with how you feel, that means you're not alone and you should never feel like how you felt is a problem. So I appreciate you for just having the courage to come
Yeah.
up and give us that tidbit of information. We appreciate you so much, Sade, for coming up.
Gratitude. Love y'all to life.
Love you to
Love
life.
you, life too.
Busy. Greetings. We appreciate your patience. How are you?
Greetings, greetings, everyone.
What
I'm
would you like to
fine.
say?
I'm sorry.
What would you like to say today in regards to the postpartum conversation?
Oh, I could say so much because I am a mother of five.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
five C-sections. But I'm just gonna share my very last one because it was the most traumatic for me.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, I went into labor when I was 28 weeks. I ended up getting walking pneumonia, hospitalized. I also got the same shot that Toddy got to make her baby's lungs strong.
Mm-hmm.
That shot, um, it caused me to become diabetic.
Mm-hmm.
They never ever could get my sugar under control. I was in the hospital for about almost a month.
What?
Almost a month. It was like, yeah, nearly a month. And the doctor that was there, she wasn't my doctor, and I was at a totally different hospital. She was always insisting that I needed to stay. That I needed to stay. She always was trying to forcefully give me medicine that I did not want, so I would not take it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So they came back and gave me a second shot, which was supposed to be a second round of steroids for my baby. That shot nearly killed me.
Mm.
I could remember my legs, my feet, my arms, my hands, everything just swelling up. And it was almost like I wasn't getting any fluid, but we all know that was fluid everywhere. And I live about 3.5 hours away from my family. But my husband was here with my kids. My kids were at home. I was in the hospital. I'm sorry, my voice is trembling. Um,
It's okay.
I was in the hospital. I can remember calling my husband at like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning because I wanted to go home.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go home. And the doctor, she didn't want me to go home. So she threatened to put me on a psychiatric hold. Yes. I was like, what? Okay, I'm going crazy. She's telling them I'm going crazy because I don't want this medicine. I don't want to be in this hospital. I want to go home. This is depressing. I've been in here way too long. Way too long for walking pneumonia. I've been in here way too long. Okay. So my husband ends up coming to the hospital the next morning and I told him, call my doctor. So he calls my doctor. My doctor sends another doctor that is his colleague to the hospital where I am to discharge me. Okay. While this lady was gone, I guess she was over her shift or whatever the case may have been. But he discharged me and I was able to go home. Not even, I would say, not even 12 hours later, this lady had the cops at my door. At my door. And they were saying that you left the hospital. You was not supposed to leave. You have to go back. We went through a whole thing to the point we had to get a lawyer. I went back to the hospital, but I didn't go to that hospital. I went back to my hospital where my doctor is
Mm-hmm.
and let him evaluate me. And, they did the psychiatric thing. And I was released within 24 hours, needless to say. So I ended up having my baby shortly after what January. This happened in November, so I had her in January, the first week in January. Because of this shot, I had gained a lot of weight, although I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't eating. I gained probably about 30 to 32 pounds, and I had her at 38 weeks, which I shouldn't have. So it was just like a month or so later after all this had took place. When I had her, my baby had swallowed um what do they call it? The amniotic fluid.
Mm-hmm.
She swallowed so much of it, and it was so much of it in her lungs and in her body that she was a purple baby when she was born. And I had a C-section, so um, they put the little curtain there where you can't see the baby, but my husband can
Mm-hmm.
see her. And I'm looking at his face. And he's trying not to be emotional because he doesn't want me to be emotional. And I too can also relate with the young lady that said she could feel the tugging and the cutting on her body when they were doing the
Mm-hmm.
C-section. You can feel that. You can
Yes.
feel the extra pressure. I could actually feel the doctor putting his elbow into my stomach to push my baby back up so they could pull her out. I know. I see your face, Toddy. It sounds crazy, but it is real. It is real. Um,
Yes, I just could not even imagine.
I
This
think
is
not
so.
even maybe 6 hours after I had her, she had her own doctors. They separated us. They put us in different wings. My husband went to the wing she was in, and I went to what is it, the after delivery wing. Not even 6 hours after that, I had a nurse come in my room. Mind you, I have 22 staples across my stomach. 22 staples. Now I didn't even get the little clear incisions. They gave me staples because I've had so many multiple C sections, and they were worried that I wasn't going to heal correctly. So I had 22 staples from one side to the other. 6 hours after delivery, I had a nurse come into my room and say, "Hey, you need to get up. You need to stand up. You need to start walking. You need to move around. You don't want your body to get locked up. You can't do this. You can't do that." Mind you, I just had a major operation, right? These C sections are very hard to recover from. I hear a lot of mothers say, "Oh, girl, I bounce right back." No, you don't bounce right back. You don't bounce right back. So with all that, not to keep y'all too long, with all that went on, we ended up coming home. My baby has a swallowing disability because they tubed her to get the fluid out of her body. So they put this long plastic tube down her throat. No, I couldn't see it. My face was turned the other way. They strap your arms down and they give you this medicine that you're numb from, supposed to be from your waist down, but you're really numb like from your chest down. You get what I'm saying? Like and then they'll put these weights on you that it's supposed to wake your legs up, wake your body up, but it takes some time before any of this happens. Um But we ended up coming home, and my baby, she's one now. She has a swallowing disability to where it could be the spit in her mouth. If it's too much for her, she will start regurgitating and gagging, and it's a lot. It's a lot. But I just wanted to share my experience, because I'm sure there are other mothers out there that has been through what I have been through. But I want to say, don't stop fighting. Don't give up. Be the biggest advocate for yourself. Even the family that you don't talk to, and you think, "Hey, I don't need anyone here with me. I can do this on my own." Baby, y'all better pick up the phone, call your mamas, call your grandmamas, because they're not gonna go for anything. You hear me? Nothing.
Okay,
But
because
call these people and have them there with you. Have that support, because like I said, I've had 5 C-sections, and of those 5 C-sections, I have only had uh 2 of them where I've had actual physical support, where I've had people there that could advocate for me. So, just going forward, I just think women of color, we need to have that support. We need to have that circle
absolutely.
for each other. Cause had I not had my husband and I was just still a single mother having a baby, I could be in a psych ward right now.
Yep.
Listen,
You know, so much
um,
happens.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
It's
crazy.
wild.
And I'm
Every
sorry
time
you
I
had to
think
go through
back on
that.
it, I think I'm crazy. I'm like, I ain't no way. I'm 35. I went through this. I'm still staying strong. I'm breastfeeding. I'm working 14 plus hours a
Oof.
day. You know, and I work like I do to keep myself from falling into depression. I don't go to sleep with the lights off. I need them on. I have to walk around the house, check on my kids, and of course my little baby too. I sleep with her right next to me. Um, it's a
Yeah.
lot. I think they need to give us a way, or we need to give ourselves a formula to be able to balance this kind of life.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just wanted to share my experience with you
Yeah.
guys.
Well, thanks for
we
sharing.
appreciate you coming on. Listen, I need you to come back, Miss Dixon, next week when we have the doula here so that we can be able to kind of have this conversation again because she's going to be watching this video and watching your experience. And I want you to come back to have additional questions. But I appreciate you taking out the time to tell us this because it gives us something to think about. I have questions, but I'm like, we short on time.
Yep.
So it's like,
Okay.
but
Yes,
please
There's
that's
so
why I
come
much
did
I want
not
to
want to
say.
hold everybody too long, but I did want to share that because I mean I hear a lot of the stories and I heard the one C-section story, but I think y'all needed to know a little bit more into detail of what a woman really goes through and who's having these C-sections and having them without support. Because once you're under that
Mhm.
knife, you don't have much of a voice. They have tubing on you. They
No.
have all kinds of things to where you can't
Yeah.
respond the way you
That's
want to
scary.
respond. I remember the tears rolling down the side of my face. So it's so much. And I will come back next week. I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here, y'all.
Well, you have a good
Yes.
night.
I am.
Gratitude
I'm
for
just gonna
coming up.
drop
We
down to the
appreciate you.
comments. Yes, ma'am. I appreciate
Okay.
y'all letting me come up.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You was here before Sheena. The
Yes.
motherfucking governance, ma'am. What's
No, we
going
only got
on?
like 12 minutes or so. But I wanted to say a couple things because I thought about it when Todd was trying to recall some stuff. I know the whole vaccine thing was a
Yeah.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then plus I was there for the entire delivery, and hers was very much so different than mine, and I had Pitocin and all of that stuff too, um,
Mhm.
to induce my labor. But I saw the difference where they don't care, especially if you are young. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And so that could take a toll on you. But my two comments was that when I was young, I was in a house full of people and people wouldn't help me. And I
Mm-hmm.
had caught the flu. Toddy was like 3 months old. I had the flu. So I'm crying and she's crying because she had bronchitis. And so I'm sick and she's sick. And I'm in a house full of people and nobody will help me. So I'm just in the bed. I'm crying. She's crying. I felt out of my fucking mind. It took my big sister Trish coming all the way over to my grandmother's house and said, I'm taking a baby with me, you rest, because nobody gave a fuck. You know what I mean? I'm
Mm-hmm.
17 with a baby, and let's be clear, I'm still in high school, so I'm still doing work.
Yeah.
I'm still having to catch up with all of my schoolwork to make sure that I'm going to graduate on time, because that was just not acceptable. And my grandmother didn't allow me to work because for her, school came first.
Yeah.
So that was my point. But my other point that I did want to briefly make is because I don't know if grandparents can have postpartum, because I felt like when Toddy would go through her stuff, I'm going through it because I can't help her. I can't fix it. And I know that she don't want to also put it on me, because some things I understand now as, our relationship has grown, that some things she wants to go through because she has to deal with it herself and
Yeah.
not call on me for it. So I'm looking at a lot of stuff and I'm like, damn, I wish I could help her and fix it. You know what I mean? But I also know that her and her man have to handle and be in it, and she can't tell me everything because this is their family dynamic. So as a
Yeah.
grandmother, I'm sitting back like, listen, spirit, I need some help because she needs some help. I want her to come sit in my lap, but she got a baby in her lap. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
it's a lot. So I wonder if grandparents, Kelly says yes, we can. If grandparents can have postpartum,
I
and
want to
father,
say something real quick too, because you reminded me of what I wanted to touch on when you what you said, because a lot of people say, I feel disconnected, or in the days, and I feel that way too, but especially I feel disconnected from spirit. It's very, very weird. um it's so weird because it's like, even like if I'm trying to speak something, or pray over something, it just, there's a disconnect, and I don't know how to explain that. Also, you only know that there's a disconnect when you know there's a disconnect. You know what I mean? So it's like there's nothing that I can actually say to explain that. But and I'm just in a very weird place. Yeah, so that just made me think of that. But yeah.
Absolutely. Gratitude so much, Governess, for coming up. That question, I want her to come back next week and ask Charms about that, because that's going to be a great conversation, Toddy, when you come back next week, too. So we're going to, like, listen, I am so blown away. I'm mind blown. I'm over here like, what the fuck can I do to help y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seriously over here thinking this because shit gets real. And then on top of that, you have 9 months to be safe and worry about your own health as a Black woman. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you go to the hospitals and these bitches don't give a fuck about y'all. It makes me angry. I feel like I just want to be like, fuck you. You need to make sure that she's going to be all right.
Right.
This is so scary. Oh my gosh. Welcome, Sheena, our
Hi,
last
ladies.
guest.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Hello.
so greetings to you first and foremost.
Greetings.
Gratitude. We as women, we need platforms like this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us are in it and we feel like we're in it by ourselves.
Yeah.
A lot of us are and have gone through childhood trauma that comes along, and we find ourselves pregnant, and we're dealing with our pregnancy along with childhood trauma, and nobody tells us how to deal with these things. And then we go through the pregnancy, delivering the babies, and then all of these hats at one time, and nobody tells us what hat to wear and when to wear these hats.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so when we're in situations where we're feeling one by ourselves, alone in this big ass place called the world,
Yeah.
and then we have this brand new baby or these brand new babies, because we're known to have more than one baby at a time. Nobody's there to say this is what, most of the times. Most of us don't. I didn't have that dynamic. This is what you do. This is how you do it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you my roughest experience, because that's why I brought in the childhood trauma. Um, I was molested at 3. I don't know if I could say that.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and then I was raped at 13. I have a
Oh my
baby by my
goodness.
rapist. I'm in my 40s now. Um, in 2022, 6 days before my birthday, my oldest son, who would have been turning 32 in December, committed suicide. So I say that to say this. When we are going through these childhood traumas and we don't feel like we have anybody to talk to, and we are now adults in our trauma, we have to find someone that we can connect with.
Yeah.
And so if platforms like these are our remedy, we need it. And
Absolutely.
so I am grateful for this platform and many platforms just like it, because we don't get a break
I know, right?
from from the angst of life. We don't get breaks.
Yeah.
Right.
We have to be so many cycles of people, in essence, of this one body, and we have to give so many others. And sometimes it is overwhelming.
Yeah.
And so if you are in a position where you could talk to somebody, even if you feel alone, knock on the door and talk to somebody
Mm-hmm.
so that you can cope, because no one tells us how to cope.
Mm-mm.
We have to find solace in all of these hardships called life,
Yeah.
literally. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't come to stay long. It's just that um I can relate to a
Yes.
lot of what I heard tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we do need platforms like this
Absolutely.
because
Absolutely.
it is a support system.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
it's it's a beautiful thing when you can find a support system of strangers that embrace you like family. Come on,
Yeah.
that's work of the source all day
Mhm.
long.
Yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
appreciate you ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank
Gratitude.
you.
I am new to
Gratitude.
walking with the ancestors. I'm maybe
Oh,
about
welcome.
a week or two in, but I have been catching up on everything. When I say everything, I've literally, because I work from home. So
Yeah.
I've literally been catching up on everything. And so to know that this is a platform that so many of us are welcome and there's no judgment. Oh my
Mm-mm.
goodness.
No. Absolutely none. And we
No
show
judgment.
gratitude for that through Quatita, because through that she has helped myself. She
Hmm.
has helped so many people. And I think that her pushing me is why I do this. I do
Hmm.
this so that we all can be able to collectively hear each other, because that's the thing that she teaches.
Hmm.
You have to be able
I
to hear
like
each
it.
other. And somebody, like what you said to me, it touched my heart, because I'm like, wow, me thinking that this could be great, it was actually amazing, because now I have a reason as to why it needed to happen.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
know,
Hmm. Yeah.
it's amazing. I
Yeah.
appreciate you so much.
No, you ladies have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much. I am
You too.
grateful. I'm humbled for this experience alone, just to know that, I can take something from each and every woman that said something tonight about what their experience is and walk it in my everyday life from here on out. And I did go to therapy and things like that, and I'm dealing with my son's transition one day at a time. However, you
Mhm.
know, um, I'm a grandmother. He gave me three grandbabies. So I'm a grandmother, and now I have a grandbaby on the way.
Yeah.
So we do experience postpartum with our babies.
Hmm.
We do.
Yeah.
So if your mom tell you, I know something is wrong with you, and my baby just walked in the house. Your mom tell you, none of your business. Your mom tell you that I know, that my beans is going through something. Listen, hear her out, because she know what she talking about. Because
Hmm.
she has the same way you bond with Bean. She bond with her beaners.
Hmm.
So I know that for a fact. So you ladies have
Yes.
a wonderful evening.
You too,
And
Miss
it was a
You
Sheena.
one,
too.
no
Make sure
problem,
you
no
Gratitude.
come back
problem.
next week too.
I will. I will.
Oh,
I'm definitely locked in.
okay, ma'am. Well,
All right.
love
You
peace and
have
life.
all right.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Yes, ma'am. Listen, about told my whole face up because I was about to cry
Okay.
ugly.
Okay.
You understand? Because girl, how? I'm like, girl, wait, I was not. Listen,
Expecting that.
I'm so in my emotions about this, because it's like, Toddy, I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's like I totally get it now. So it's like I feel like now, bitch, I'm probably liable to call you every day. You good? You all right? Girl, hey, what you
You
let's
all
talk for 15
right?
minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, even though I don't want to bother you because I feel like you're busy, I now feel like it's needed to just give you that moment to digress for a second. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like,
absolutely.
it's just so many things, but
It's so many things. And I feel like we tapped on a lot, but it's like surface level.
yeah, it goes so deeper than that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
girl, ugh, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Y'all, this has been an
We didn't even tap on not having sex or wanting to have sex after a baby and all of that
Girl,
jazz.
I even
Yeah,
had
this
on
is a
here things that
lot.
men could talk about. I didn't even get to the point to where, honey, we was gonna get on the men and what resources that they
Yeah,
because I feel like they need to take tests before they
Mm-hmm.
leave that motherfucking hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And the support of the woman. Because
Yep.
in the research, 29 to 44% of Black women alone deal with this automatically. That's a high percentage for our race.
Mm-hmm.
I think postpartum it goes deeper. Just listening to Sheena as well, but also when Toddy went to college for the first time, I cried for 3 months
I
straight.
was gonna say that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was
like
gonna
I
say
had
that.
whatever partum, you know what I mean? Like I
yeah.
cried for 3 months
Yeah.
straight. I could not function because she was gone. And
Oh,
she's been with me since I was 16, 17, so I didn't know how to live.
Deal with that, yeah.
Yeah, I was really fucked up.
Yeah. I was gonna
listen,
say that.
I'm gonna be a wreck.
Yeah.
When I become a mom, I'm going to be a
Oh
absolute
yeah,
wreck.
it's absolutely. Absolutely.
I love y'all. I'm gonna
I
cut
They're gonna
love
y'all.
be like, Keanu, is that your mom out there in that bush?
y'all.
Maybe. I'm just trying to scope the scenery out. That's
Listen,
it.
Toddy, I absolutely enjoyed you being on this first part of postpartum depression sister circle. Next week we're going to have Charming the doula come on and you back as well as our special guest along with everybody else that can come up and ask any questions. But I appreciate you giving your testimony about everything and letting us see beautiful Bing, girl. We love it. Until we meet again, everybody that showed up for diversity tonight, we appreciate everybody, every woman that came and gave her testimony. We appreciate you guys for just
Absolutely.
allowing yourself to have that courage to even help Toddy as she is dealing with this, but she's also persevering through this as well. And all of you women are fighters. All of you women are strong. All of you women will prevail in this. And next week, we will have Charmin T on diversity as our doula so that you can ask her any questions that you would like. And we can be able to kind of get you some tips on this and anything that can be able to help, books, things. We are here to help. And I love y'all to life and I appreciate the support. I appreciate every last one of you. And until we meet again, honey, what we say at the end of LHTC, honey, Solitude Day. Why? We love y'all.
Okay.
We'll see y'all next week. Bye.
Bye.